tea and talk.
Ooh.
We ain't got the tea, but we talking.
Yeah.
Unless you consider this tea.
You know what I'm
now
saying?
We talking.
You feel me?
That's a bar.
Come on, yeah, right.
Let it breathe.
Yeah. What about tea and talk?
You know. Talk to us about the process, the development, where we at with it. I saw you was on live the other day.
Talking about body image. So, okay, so Tea and Talk is an experience that I curate. And before Miss Rona popped up, it was an in-person experience where basically it's a very vulnerable event where you have to engage with people. but not just engage on a surface level. How are you? It's an engage on like, what's your biggest fear? What are you insecure about? And things of that nature. It started, if I'm being really honest, it started because I was depressed. I was in a terrible depression because I was I wasn't honoring my season. I was fighting my season. So I realized I need to do something because I don't want to be in this space anymore. This is heavy. I need to do something. And I wanted to give while I was receiving. So I knew I can't be the only one going through this. I know there's other people who are going through this. So I created Tea and Talk because I knew what I needed. And that was to talk to people, like-minded individuals and people who felt where I was coming from. It was like therapy. I needed therapy, but in community, if that makes sense. So that's what I created. Therapy, but in community. And, you know, every event has been, or every experience has been very special because no one's on their phone, you know, and no one's like, even people who are like socially shy or whatever the case may be, they find themselves feeling safe to open up. And honestly, Tea and Talk is just a way for me to stay accountable, is creating community so that I stay accountable, because every Tea and Talk that I do is a theme that I'm going through. I'm currently going through it. Right. Like, it's deep. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to have this event. Like, I fast before Tea and Talks. I really meditate on Tea and Talks. I have to be honest with myself with what are you really going through, Maya? What is happening? And, you know, creating a theme around it. And basically just sharing what I'm learning and offering a platform for people to share where they are. So my last Tea and Talk was on body image. And because I was learning a lot about accepting my body of where I am now. And I was learning, you know, I gained the quarantine 15, you know, and so I was going through my own process of loving my body and questioning, why do we have this, especially as Black women or women in general, why do we have this unconditional love for ourselves? Because we're seeing the Meg Thee Stallions and the Cardi B's and all these unrealistic expectations of what a body should look like. Right. And I wanted to share that with people. So that's really what Tea and Talk is. It's a community that holds me accountable. Because I know I can't just give you this stuff if I'm not doing the work. You know, I could have did a Tea and Talk on whatever, like, oh yeah, staying in shape. No, I fell off. Let's talk about that. So that's Tea and Talk. Therapy and community. Yeah.
Community and accountability. It came back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important.
On now, if you ain't got that, go get you that.
It's important.
Go to Walmart, swipe that.
and could you explain to the people, what does community mean? Because I feel like this word comes up so much.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
But what is community, and how does someone find community, and how do they know if they're in the wrong community?
Let's get to it, people.
Let's go.
Because you could be in a neighborhood. Well, it's not a neighborhood if you ain't building with your neighbor. So the community, it start with the relationship right here. You know what I'm saying? Mano y mano. That's how they say it. But look, that one-on-one relationship.
Yeah.
And that creates the partnership. And then, you know, on the family structure, you know, mom, father, son, then multiple families. That essentially builds the community. Then multiple communities build a nation. But back to the mano y mano. So it's all experiencing and discernment. And you know, I went to this journal circle the other day, and I believe the topic was, you know, how can you protect yourself? And like, or what is protection to you? And speaking on like you know, vulnerability.
We still chilling.
Yeah, okay. Speaking on vulnerability, and it was inspirational because, you know, that's a necessary topic as far as like for me, I feel protected, you know, being around people that's vulnerable, honest, because it clearly lets you know where their intentions are. And a lot of the time that's women, because men, they be on some scheme type time, but that's another drawing. But so the vulnerability and the honesty, I like that because I want to be in that, I want to be transparent and be in that space all the time. But that's also me. I think that's the balance of me having that protection of choosing who I could be that around or who I could share that experience with, because everybody is not for you and you are not for everybody. So that's a constant joy on just knowing who you are first and foremost.
Yeah.
Knowing what you want to build with people, knowing how you want to go about building with people. That communication is key. And through communication, you can find specific points on which y'all can build upon and, you know, create that relationship to essentially expand into a community.
Yeah.
Because you tap into one another and they plug you into another person. This right here could plug her into my people's and vice versa. And I plugged into her people's at Tea and Talk when she had me on that thing.
Yeah.
She had me on
fasting.
That thing.
That was the fasting Tea and Talk, because I was fasting for the bike tour.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Full circle thing. And initially, me wanting to do these conversations and have this platform, like you was one of the first people I wanted on here. You and Eli, because I saw y'all journey from like, you know, from like a year or 2 years ago to like where y'all are now and accomplishing the goals y'all accomplished and just you know, expanding and as individuals.
I just
flourishing.
Nah, big facts. And to add to what you were saying, I believe, I'm learning that community starts with you. You know, because I used to think, like, people like, oh, get into community. But it's like, but where? Right? Where do I find my tribe? Where do I find? And I recognized that I was in the wrong community because, or who I'm surrounding myself with. Because, you know, and I feel like the telltale way to examine your community is when you hang around them, what do you feel? Yeah. Do you feel joy? Do you feel safe?
Trained. Do
you feel open?
Depleted.
Do you feel, you know what I'm saying? These are things to ask yourself. And an elder told me, if you hang out with someone for however long, and when you leave to go home, you couldn't take anything with you or here.
It's a bad drawing.
And that's okay. Not everybody is on that type of time, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what is the quality of your relationship? And that was something that really opened my eyes to who I was surrounding myself with. But I believe the way to find community or build community is build it within yourself. Right. Recognize who you are, at least right now, because you're going to change, you're going to evolve. And, you know, recognize what you need. Like, I knew that at a certain time of my life, I needed to be surrounded by a stronger spiritual community, people that prioritize their spiritual health. And I also needed to be around people who prioritize their physical health. Because like, for example, for the bike tour, I was hitting Troy up a lot. Like, oh, like, how do you do, you know what I mean? Because I needed to surround myself with that type of community so that I stay fed. Because if you do not constantly feed yourself, we eat every day, right? We eat food every day. How come we only feed our minds once a week or once a year? Or, you know, quality foods.
Yeah.
So, yeah, community is important, in short. And just be open to change. Be open and just take a chance. Just do it, you know? And I have to remind myself of that, to just do it. Like, Maya, stop thinking about it. Just do it. And see what happens. And that literally was Tea and Talk. I was depressed, and I was like, I want to do this thing. I pulled together what I had, and I just did it. And it was sold out. The first Tea and Talk I had, it was at Henry Spot, the artwork gallery. Shout out to y'all.
Whole lot of
capacity. Like, we reached full capacity. Yes. And I was like, what? Like, it was such a pleasant surprise, because I didn't, you just never know. You never know how people are going to take what you give. So just go for it, because at the end of the day, I strongly feel like we each have something special. So why are you holding on to it? It's yours to give.
Share it with the world
abundantly, because you're in abundance. So it's yours to give abundantly. You never know who needs it. You never know. Like, I remember one time, like, one of my like touching moments in Tea and Talk, this person came. I didn't even know this person. They came off the street. And what we were talking about, they were like, you don't understand how much I needed this. Like, they were suicidal. Like, it was serious. Deep. Yeah. It was real deep. And I was like, mind you, this was a Tea and Talk I didn't even want to have. Right. I was like, I don't know about this month, the budget, da-da-da-da-da-da. You just never know. You never know who might need you. You never know who might need your smile, who might need your listening ear, who might need your agreement, who might just need you to bounce ideas off of. You just never know. And I encourage anyone watching this, have a conversation. Reach out to your community today. Converse with someone on a deep level. Not just a, how are you? But even if it is, how are you? Answer honestly and truthfully. Yeah. That's something I'm learning. Yeah. But so, like, it can be somebody random. How are you? I'm not doing too hot today. Be honest. You know, because you never know what that's going to open for that other person. Then it sparks a conversation. Facts. Then they're like, oh, actually, I'm going through da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's how you build community.
Where I went through da-da-da-da-da, right. And that's how I, you know
what I'm saying?
Boom, boom.
So, you know, I definitely encourage anyone watching this right now to reach out to your community. Have a quality conversation. Have a quality conversation. And remember that you are abundant. You were created by abundance. So you can give abundantly. And be the change you want to see. The revolution really starts here.
Within.
It starts all with you.
As within, so without.
Yes.
As above, so below.
You know what I'm saying?
You know how it go. Rocking with the flow. And that's, we're going to end it on that note.
Yeah.
More life.